Hello. So we are the Microsoft Capstone group composed of me, Carter Bumby, Carter DeWolf, Brandon Young, and Andrew Bergerson. Next slide. So first off, we want to start by explaining what FarmBeats is. So FarmBeats are kits created by Microsoft that are used to monitor agriculture data. And their goal of it is to help improve productivity of farming and data collection. And one thing it does that is really handy is it automatically uploads data to the Azure cloud once it's finished collecting data, and that can be very useful. And NDSU's Precision Ag Department has been using FarmBeats and their tractor sensors to collect data in multiple fields, and they are trying to store all of that in one location in Azure. And there's approximately about 5 FarmBeats kits in each field that they are currently using. Next slide.
So NDSU's Precision Agriculture Department wants a way to move local data files to live with the FarmBeats data files in the Azure cloud. They also want a way to get meaningful visualizations from the data. The main steps we took to accomplish this was to give a OneDrive interface to drag and drop files onto. We wrote code that turns the file data into JSON and uploads it to Azure. We'll send a confirmation email to the Precision Ag Department upon upload, and then we'll create data visualizations for whatever file they upload in Power BI.
The tools that we used during this project are listed here. The first one is Power Automate, and this is a workflow automator, and it's kind of the structure of our project and controls what happens in what order. The second one is Power BI. This is a business analytic tool, and it's used to visualize the data that is stored in our database. The third is the Cosmos DB. This is the database that we are using to store all of our data, and then it is connected with Power BI to help with the visualization. The fourth tool is the Azure Functions, and this is the cloud service that we are using as the infrastructure for our project. The fifth tool is OneDrive, and this is where the files will be dragged and dropped, and then this will kick off the Power Automate flow. And the final tool is SendGrid, and this is what formats the email that we then send to the user to authenticate their actions.
So, without further ado, we're going to hop into a quick demonstration of our project here. So, we start out with our OneDrive folder. This kicks off the entire event sequence thanks to Power BI, or not Power BI, Power Automate. So for a quick demo, let's say we have a CSV file that we would like to upload and be able to create reports on in the cloud. Whether we want to join it with our FarmBeats data or not, we can drag that into our OneDrive, and then our OneDrive will kick off a Power Automate event that will then be able to upload and hit our serverless functions to parse that data into the database. The Power BI or Power Automate panel looks like this. You can see a rundown of all your previous runs. So you can see there are a couple test ones. So I can look at this one from 17 hours ago, and I can see all of the steps that it went. So when the file is created, we are able to get all that data, create a share link for our function to access, and then be able to hit it using our Azure Functions. Our Azure Functions are powered by the serverless framework and are able to be deployed and committed into version control in a very clean development environment for any future development needs or purposes. However, the design of this requires is flexible enough that Power Automate can handle most of the workflow editing. If you say wanted to edit it, you can create steps, add extra logic, because Power Automate is a very powerful no or low code tool in order to achieve a lot of those similar results. Alright, so as you can see, our flow is starting to run here. We are able to catch when the file is created, get the file metadata, create a share link, and just continue stepping through that process. And we're able to call our function, which successfully uploaded that data. However, the main use of this is not to have this page open all the time. We'll actually get an upload confirmation email for our OneDrive link, and then we can actually go and look inside our database and see that we now have our CSV test data in there. Our Andrew, Mike, and Larry. And then we can technically report on that in Power BI. Here are some demo reports using some coordinates and elevation data, coordinates and moisture data, and then yield volume. So we're able to graph those out. Most of our graphs are based on shapefiles right now, but Power BI has the ability to, again, as a very low and no code solution, be able to create and do data analytics without the need of modifying code. So there's a lot of power behind that. Hence the name Power BI. And we have all of our data in our Cosmos DB, our Power Automate, and it's all based off of our OneDrive file. Thank you all for tuning in.